Yo, welcome to my channel, Wardrawsalot. Obviously I'm Ward, or I wouldn't have named it Wardrawsalot. Today, I'm going to try a challenge. I usually don't do challenges because I just sit there and draw, but maybe a challenge is a good way to initiate creativity and try something new. So today's challenge is using colors that my mother picked from my marker collection to create a drawing. I didn't give her any colors that I like or I don't like or anything. I just let her pick whatever she wanted. She picked a purple, a light blue, a dark blue, and then a light brown and a dark brown. These are all colors she liked, so I should have expected her to pick the ones that she wanted to see in a drawing. Were just going to be those. And she picked all dark colors on purpose. She told me, she was like, I want to see how all dark colors come up in a drawing. She always finds it interesting how dark colors come up on clothing, and then it's usually clashed with a lighter tone purposefully, or not clashed, but complemented, I should say. So like if there's like a light blue somewhere in an outfit or a shirt or something, that would be a dark blue to complement it. She wants to see how just dark on dark would look like, and that makes sense to come from her because she's a seamstress, or at least she was a seamstress for like 50 years. So she just wants to see how colors would look like if you put them together very dark with no contrast or anything. So yeah, that's why she picked those colors. Admittedly, when she gave me the colors and I looked at them at first, I was like, what am I going to do with these? Because they're all darker tones, and I have a tendency to use lighter tones or build up upon lighter tones, not just go in straight with a darker tone of color. So it was kind of a challenge, just like this intended to be. So usually when I draw, I like to pick a main color and then work around that main color and, build upon the outfit from there. But with these colors, I didn't get to choose, obviously. I was like, which one do I want to work with the most? So instead of being fixated on that, I was like, okay, let's just swatch down these colors first. I already did the sketch, and it was just a simple dude with a long coat and a coffee cup and a book in his hand, kind of like a college student thing going on. That wasn't the hard part. The hard part was putting the colors together. Anyway, I put the swatches in the corner of the paper so I could just reference back to it easier, and so you guys could see what I'm working with in terms of the colors. I also didn't want to continuously pull out the reference sheet of colors that I already have, because it's just kind of a hassle whenever I just have 3 or 4 colors compared to a bunch of colors that I usually have that I would need that big sheet. So I was like, you know what, just make it easier on myself and swatch it to the side. I suggest that for any of you guys too. As I was sketching, I was trying to keep in mind how the pose was gonna look. I do feel like I made the arm holding the cup of coffee a little too long, and I wish I didn't. I did shorten it a little bit, but I don't think it was enough. The arm holding the book too, I think that's a little long too, I'm not gonna lie. Or I put the thighs too short, and it made his legs look smaller compared to his torso. Or how about just the whole thing is anatomically fugged? It's just not great. I didn't focus too much on the pose, which I wish I could have more, but sometimes I just want to draw. I don't care if it's anatomically correct. Sometimes it's like my sketchbook, I could just do it. If I want to practice, then I practice later on when I just want to better myself, but most of the time I just want to have fun and draw. I did, however, manage to make him smaller framed, so I didn't make him big and muscly this time. That's a pat on the back to me, because I never do that, ever. But to be fair, I kind of went through a withdrawal of a beefy boy, and later on that night I drew a beefy boy anyway. But at that time, I drew a smaller framed person, and I'm getting slowly better at them. Very, very slowly, extremely slowly, but it's okay. We all can take time doing whatever we want. So once I'm happy with a sketch, as always, I take my kneader and I roll over it. Afterwards, I begin to line it, and there's nothing really too special about this lining process. Again, it's just copying over everything. The only thing I did different with this one is I took a thicker liner after I did the thinner liner, and then went over some areas I felt like needed some more boldness, so to speak. So this way it gives it some line width and variation and make the drawing look more dynamic and interesting. So yeah, I'm just gonna super fast forward through this part real quick, and then I'll come back in a second. Hey, I'm back. So, I took the blue and I decided to use that as the main centerpiece, or like, center color of the drawing. I don't know how to explain it otherwise. It's just the main color. And I decided to use that for the jacket because it's such a huge piece of the drawing. Shading was kind of difficult because it's such a dark shade already, and I would need something much darker and heavier in tone to help with the contrast of it, but that wasn't gonna work. So I decided to leave some negative spaces or empty white spaces where the dark blue was, in order to put the lighter blue or aqua blue as a contrasting tone or complementing. I don't know. I don't know if it's contrasting or complementing. I'm here again saying this. And I did use the aqua for the inside lining of the jacket. I thought that would have been nice to see. I did again use it for the negative spaces, and I think it kind of helped make it look like it was lighter in other areas, or there was some shading in other areas, but I don't think it worked out amazingly well because, again, these are seriously different colors next to each other, all of them. So I ended up using the purple for the shirt because I didn't want the pants to be all purple. I think it would have been too much it's too much bold color in one area. There we go. So it would be super, like, in my head it would be super noisy. That's what I call it. Although it's not like a noise filter, it's noisy because there's so much loud colors going on in one spot, and I didn't want that. So I left the pants for the lighter brown. Yeah, there we go. I left it for the lighter brown, and I made that match with his hair and his skin tone to kind of give it a nice balance of where everything is going, because I don't want too much saturated color in one area and not enough natural color in the other. So I think it worked out pretty well the way it all came together, honestly. So for his accessories, if you want to call them that, the book and the coffee cup, I kept the book a purple to match with the shirt, so there's some color cohesion. Like, it's not just like a random purple thrown in there and then you never see it again in the entire drawing. And then I also made the coffee cup a light brown with a teal like cover. You know those like hand warmer protector, I don't even know the name of them. They protect the coffee cup and your hand from getting burned. It helps grip it better, I should say. So I made that the teal color. I was really missing shading when I was doing this, so I decided to try and take the purple and go over some areas to see if it would give it some more shadows, but I don't really think it did that much with the blue, because the blue is such a saturated tone that you can't really put another color on top of it unless it's significantly darker than it. So I had to just bite my tongue and accept the fact that I can't shade with it. Honestly, my mom did pick some pretty good colors. She was even smart enough to pick a skin tone, and I'm proud of her for that. Good job, mama. But for the most part, everything else, I was like, dang, this is a little difficult. But I did change my coloring style to suit the needs of these markers and their color sorting. Color sorting, nice. So this way I could try and make it look wow, I can't talk today. Sorry guys, like video over. Anyway, I tried to keep the color cohesion as good as possible. I even tried like right here the tip to tip method where you put one marker on top of the other, like their nibs, and then you let them touch for a little bit, and then you try and give it some gradient, but even that was a little bit pushing it because these colors don't really blend well together because they are so far apart. Overall, I was pretty happy with the drawing, and then when I showed my mom in the end, she was like, he looks like a prince, and I agree, but I also think that he looks like he's totally willing to like step on you. My other friend told me that too, so yeah, I agree with both ends there. So this is the finished product. I had fun doing it. Thanks for watching, and remember, I love you. Goodbye.